Hello guys, today I'm going to be drawing characters based on the looks from the film Captain America: The First Avenger. I really love this one because out of all the Marvel films, it is one with a good basis for inspiration for clothing. This is the only Marvel film that is set in the 40s, so I was really inspired to create 3 different characters based off of people in the film, and there's a lot of unique silhouettes and fabrics and colors that I incorporated into these looks. The first illustration is inspired by the character Peggy Carter, that is the love interest of Captain America, and I found her character to be incredibly inspiring when it comes to clothing. She had this really chic hairstyle and this really strong personality that I always admired as a kid, and I really wanted to design a look that I could see her wearing every day. I know that she has a lot of different settings in the film that goes from formal to military. When it comes to this look, I just pictured her as a regular girl going around town before the chaos, and this was a look that I designed inspired by her. For this look, I love the long A-line midi-length skirt. I think it's one of my favorite silhouettes, and sometimes I wish I lived in the 40s so I could have endless options for this skirt, because the length is just above the floor, that it's practical so they can walk around without it being too long. However, it still has a very flattering waist cinching silhouette with this big A-line fullness, and so I really accentuated her figure with that silhouette. I also am giving her a little neck scarf. I love the idea of wrapping something around your neck that's very subtle but feminine at the same time. The film was based around an era that Coco Chanel was about to influence pants for women and start creating modernized silhouettes because of the war. However, there was still quite an emphasis from Christian Dior's collections on the waist-cinched big A-line skirt for women, although it was practical for it to be a bit shorter. So I like the bridge between these two eras in fashion kind of at war together, and I really wanted to showcase these two with the modern jacket at the shorter length with a big skirt that pays homage to the Christian Dior silhouette. I love the idea in the 40s of these fascinator headpieces that just kind of sat on the side of their head. It seems like magic to me because I have no idea how they managed to stay so perfectly and perked on the side of their head, especially with their amazingly shaped hairstyles. So I wanted to pay homage with this little fascinator on top. I also have this incredible amount of respect for the women back then that spent so much time doing their hair. I honestly have no idea what lengths they went to. I'm sure there are many clips and products and overnight sleeping in rolls incorporated just to have this like curl that appeared so effortless. And so I wanted to create like a long bob silhouette with her hair. And I know that she has a very simple brunette color, but it just really stands out, and even her red lip really stood out to me, and she always managed to seem so clean cut and well put together despite the circumstances of the world. And that's what I appreciate about this era, is that the women always looked so fabulous despite what was happening. They managed to have this seemingly effortless beauty that I always really respected. As you can see, the jacket is a little bit boxier, which is paying homage more to the post-war jacket silhouettes that Coco Chanel began to influence. So I did combine the Christian Dior cinched skirt and her boxy jacket silhouette, and this type of traditional Chanel double-breasted front panels. I wanted to combine the two, and in addition, I wanted to keep it a very simple neutral brown color scheme because brown was a very practical color. Most of the fabrics that were used in this era incorporated mainly wools, linens, silks, and things that were for daily wear. So I kept it in a very neutral brown palette and also simple black buttons. So this is the completed look. I did modernize her a little bit by exposing some of her neckline in between the neck scarf with this shirt that has somewhat of a scoop neckline. And I always found that to be really flattering, but I know that it's not entirely historically accurate, so there's a little bit of modernization in the final look. But this is the look inspired by Peggy Carter. For this illustration, I am going to be reimagining Captain America's post-transformation look. I wanted to re-envision his military look in a very modern way. So this one is almost as if I were to costume design a look for Captain America in the modern Avengers series. It's not really based on any of the historically accurate silhouettes for men around the 40s. So this one is kind of its own thing. And I am going to be giving him somewhat of a mask, but it's just red because I don't even know how to draw masks. That's a whole other thing with illustration. But I did pay homage with somewhat of a mask. And I get into some of his armor and metal plates and different things with this look. Also, my phone did decide to photobomb for this shot because the hype of the look, Captain America. Okay, let's get into it. Traditionally, in the 40s, men had very high-waisted pants, and sometimes even pleated, which I found to be somewhat very flattering, even though typically these days men have very low-rise pants. So for this look, I really wanted to pay homage more to a traditional 2020 pant for a man, but I did add a lot of practical panels and pieces and pockets in his pants, and also a belt, because I imagined he would have some items patched to the belt. And I also have somewhat of a almost Lord of the Rings leather top underneath, like some kind of an Under Armour that's like tied in the front with a leather string. So I have somewhat of that going on underneath a metal armor plate on top, and a turtleneck with, I imagine it would be some kind of a bulletproof fabric. And I also gave him the forearm plates and obviously his shield. I'm sure it's still somewhat too small because I recall it being extremely proportional, but I do like the idea of all of these metal plates and scales in his top metal armor. Again, this is a mix of many different types of armor ideas and military pieces that I've seen. So now the mask, and I'm kind of chuckling to myself as I'm watching this because I just realized, now that I've stepped back and looked at the drawing as a whole, that he kind of looks like a Ninja Turtle so far. Like, this mask is a very Ninja Turtle kind of thing, and I don't mind it because, you know, you gotta love some Ninja Turtles. I mean, I'm not that experienced with drawing Ninja Turtle masks, but that's kind of what the influence is happening with this. And I know that nothing is new under the sun, so I recently started delving into fantasy and armor, and I'm realizing that everything is kind of pulled from something, even if it's subconscious when it comes to art. But this is part of the exploration that comes to designing and discovering to get to the point to where I'm really comfortable with designing armor. So I was just kind of laughing because, again, this is the process and I kind of embrace it. Sometimes it's funny and I don't take this too seriously because, again, I'm trying to design like a reimagined Captain America, and I just really love the fact that somehow, oh, see, there's the green. I somehow was thinking about some kind of a Ninja Turtle subconsciously, and now I'm seeing that, but I do appreciate that kind of reference there that is a little bit humorous. So this is the completed look for Captain America Reimagined. However, I did not use any blue. It's very sad, but I do not have any blue markers, so I was not able to incorporate that color as he always has red, white, and blue. However, I did keep to a very chrome with red color scheme that is very cohesive, modern, and pays homage to his red and silver look. So this is the complete look for Captain America. This final illustration is going to be based off of Howard Stark's character in the film, played by Dominic Cooper, and he has a very calm, collected, and cool demeanor that I wanted to really encapsulate with this look. It is very clean and straightforward when it comes to the style and the pieces. I just wanted it to be a traditional work look that I could see him wearing. And his hair, of course, I spent a good amount of time doing, and I really appreciated that aspect of it. So this is the look of Howard Stark. For this look, I gave him a very clean silhouette, a white button down and somewhat of high-waisted pleated pants that are very considerably traditional for a work look in the 40s. And as you can see, the silhouettes were different back then. The men had higher waists, bigger belts, and the pants were fitted very well. This was a top priority, especially for working men. Although I did give him a little bit of his cool vibe with the top of the button down is a little bit undone and his sleeves are rolled up because I imagine him to be in the zone when he's working. And naturally his hair is somewhat of curly. I do recall Dominic Cooper having stark black hair that is somewhat curly. So overall, this is his clean work look. So as I'm just coloring in the last bits of this look, I wanted to talk a little bit about the art style because a lot of people who know me know that I do primarily croquis. However, recently I have been diving into this realm, this idea of character development and character design when it comes to my illustrations. So I have been working on this style, which is a semi-realistic that is based on somewhat proportions of croquis. However, it's not necessarily fashion. It's more casual and the idea of a character design for a film. So this is a hybrid of my styles of art that I do, and I really wanted to focus this video on the psychology and idea behind why characters wear certain things, because when it comes to film, we are so unaware of what characters are wearing because it's meant to feel so natural. However, there is so much thought and intention behind each look. So at the end of this video, I just wanted to point out the respect that I have for costume designers in film, and that I wanted to explore a little bit of this. So thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of the drawing.